Hi guys, it's Dr. James from Geelong, and today I'm talking a topic, what or why do we vaccinate cats for, specifically in Geelong. Now a lot of people forget why they vaccinate their cats, because the poor cats are probably the members of the family that get less attention than dogs. They just sit there with their little grumpy faces, running out the cat flap, catching mice and earning their keep that way, and people often forget. There are vaccinations for cats, and it's important we remember that. So when the old black cat disappears out the back door and you don't see him for a couple of days and ends up at the pound, what typically happens is, for anybody who's never been out to gauze, is all these unwanted cats turn up and often they haven't been vaccinated. So your little cat who's left the back door open, now overdue for vaccination, turns up for a bit of a party at the pound with all these other unvaccinated cats, and then they get sick. So it is something which is very preventable. That being said, whilst they may not end up at the pound, there are other circumstances where they may be around other unvaccinated cats. So stray cats coming into your backyard. They may be out in reception at a vet clinic or at a cattery and somebody's got an unvaccinated cat there. So it's all those little things that people forget about. What we typically vaccinate for cats would be panleukopenia, herpes virus and calicivirus. And they're probably the core vaccination for cats. What you tend to find is panleukopenia is a disease which affects the gut. They get quite sick, get temperatures and so forth, and they become quite unwell. Calicivirus and herpes virus affect their respiratory tract, their eyes, and they get ulceration in their eyes and their oral cavity and so forth, and they get quite unwell, those really snotty-nosed little cats. What we tend to find, if your cat's been vaccinated, the chance of them getting sick is dramatically reduced, as it is for human vaccinations. What you tend to find is we give them boosters at a regular basis such that it primes their immune system, so should they ever go missing out to the pound, they're at least protected. Which is why catteries, because cats are really good at spreading disease if they're not vaccinated, that's why catteries particularly want them to be vaccinated before they turn up. So, if you've got any questions about the cattery, it's a question, what are we vaccinating for? It's those three ingredients. Other things we can vaccinate for here in Victoria, which would be lower risk, one would be chlamydia, and that would be disease, again, we commonly see less commonly with the average person who's got a couple of pet cats. It's more endemic in a cattery situation or a breeding colony. So if I was James, the cat breeder, and I had lots of cats, it might be something we often refer to that as an F4 vaccination, covering it for that way. And sometimes pounds might have outbreak for it as well when they get a lot of cats again who are unvaccinated. The other disease we commonly vaccinate for would be feline AIDS virus. So it's a virus spread through fighting and so forth. And again, if your cat's high risk for fighting, you might want to review that risk. Whilst it's not a massive disease necessarily in Geelong, it's definitely something we see enough that some people might review their cat's vaccination status if they're a regular fighter. That being said, as I said, it's mainly the three core vaccinations I'm focusing on today: panleukopenia, herpes and calicivirus, and they're the ones, if we can vaccinate your cat from a young age and continue to vaccinate for the rest of life, they're not going to get sick. And for anybody, as I said, who's been out to the pound, seen those poor little kittens that come with the really red sore eyes, nasal discharge, ocular discharge, oral lesions in their mouth, you can see the importance of vaccinations. If you've got any questions, you're unsure where your cat's vaccination history is up to, reach out. The team are more than happy to help, and hopefully it reduces your little black cat going out and getting sick. Take care guys, speak to you soon.